Today I'm talking about Pentax Hyper Manual Control. See, the camera is in standard manual, and normally in manual you just control the three most important settings: shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. However, with Pentax Hyper Manual you can use this green button back here as well as the AEL button to help you automate your manual control. So I'm just going to change these settings a little bit, and I'll press this green button back here. So you notice that the shutter speed and aperture automatically changed. The camera is using its meter to give you a standard exposure when you press that green button. So it's a good starting point in manual. You can also control the ISO yourself. It does not change the ISO when you press the green button. In addition to that, you've got the AEL button. First off, you can see that I can change the aperture and the shutter speed does not change. However, if I press the AEL button, it locks these two settings together. So you can see as I change the aperture, the shutter speed changes. So that's also helpful to give you that extra level of automation. So if you're in a setting, you get your metered exposure, it's good. You can lock down those two settings together however you feel. So if you do want that smaller or larger aperture, you can have the settings connected together. You don't have to waste your time. Okay, so I changed my aperture, now I have to change my shutter speed. The camera will do that for you in manual. You can just easily unlock them by pressing the button again. That's a helpful feature. Should also mention, when you do that green button press in the camera meters, that is connected to the program line. So with the Pentax K5, it's in number 3 on the settings. See, it says program line. So you've got these different modes that the camera will use to decide on a proper exposure. So for example, if I use MTF, it will use the camera's most ideal aperture to get a sharp exposure. See, that changed to f4. However, I switched it to let's just do auto. And I press the green button. See, it uses f2.8 instead. So the program line is connected even in manual mode with the green button. So that's just a simple overview of Pentax Hyper Manual. It's quite helpful in many situations where you do want the full manual control at hand, but you want some extra automation to just get you started. Thanks.